everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Kenichiha podcast. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Jared.
And on this Off the Saddle episode, we wanted to talk about Summer Game Fest.
Right.
So if you don't know, Summer Game Fest is a gaming showcase pretty much the whole month of June.
Right.
It started June 8th. We just want to go over what's been happening. Technically, as of right now, it's not even done yet.
Yeah.
But most of it is. Right?
Yeah.
Most of it is. So on the 8th, we had the opening show, which opened with Prince of Persia and Mortal Kombat 1. The new Prince of Persia game is going to be a side-scroller. Looks like it's a new character.
Yeah,
like the prince himself is new.
Yeah, it's kind of a between kind of what we saw as the prince and then like from previous games, and then also like the Prince of Persia movie.
Yeah, well, I guess something to point out is that most of the time the prince in Prince of Persia is a different person.
Yeah.
For most of the games. They are also working on like a remake of Sands of Time, so we have that to look forward to also with Prince of Persia content, but they showcased this Prince of Persia game more in this Summer Game Fest.
Right.
And then we also opened with Mortal Kombat 1.
Yes, which they're rebooting Mortal Kombat again, which I guess I didn't play the last Mortal Kombat. I guess at the end of it they like remake the new universe or something like that. So this I guess is taking place right after that.
Yeah.
So I guess in lore reasons it makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely know the least about Mortal Kombat whenever it comes to fighting games.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know the lore at all.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
That it does look good.
Let's hope.
Still as nasty as ever.
Yeah. I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure like the Mortal Kombat devs, whenever they made the last Mortal Kombat, they like made the people watch like gore videos.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Nasty.
Which, is a thing. Like, a lot of people do ask for the gore to be turned off.
Yeah.
Like, an option for that. But, like, I can understand it.
Yeah, it's very extreme in Mortal Kombat.
It is.
It's very extreme.
But that's the point.
Yeah. Regardless.
Yeah.
Next, surprise guest appearance from Nick Cage.
I know. I was so happy. Nick Cage is one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, so we knew from just previous, we're on Twitter and stuff, that Nick Cage is now will be a playable character in Dead by Daylight. Now, Dead by Daylight is this kind of like hide and seek game where there's like a monster and then there's like survivors. They're called survivors.
Yeah.
The monsters, there's original monsters, and then one of the appeals of Dead by Daylight is that they actually do use a lot of like famous monsters.
Pre-established.
Yeah, pre-established, like Ghostface is in there, Freddy Krueger is in there, Jason's in there. So, and typically they do focus, also on top of that though, they also use pre-established survivors. So, like the characters from Stranger Things will be in there, and they're the survivors. So, it's kind of this mishmash of like horror IPs put into a game, right? To play hide and seek.
And the best part is that Nick Cage is just Nick Cage.
He's just Nick Cage. He's not a character. He's not Ghost Rider, or he's not anything like that. He's just Nick Cage as himself. He comes on stage and describes that his character is a director. And
no, he's an actor.
Sorry, he's an actor? I thought he was a director.
No, he's an actor that showed up to set.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Yeah,
record this movie, and it's an actual like monsters there.
Yeah, and then I think it's called like The Fog, or he ends up in The Mist. There's like some lore, like how all these characters end up in the same universe. They have like a lore reason for it. I don't play Dead by Daylight, so but he came on stage. He explained that he does all the voices, all the audio incredible for it, and he seemed really excited about it. And mentioned that this is just kind of another thing for him to branch off to, in as far as like being in entertainment.
Yeah, he's never done a video game before.
Yeah,
which is kind of surprising.
It is pretty surprising, honestly, if you think of the actors who have done video, especially with like Kojima games, right? You think
Yeah.
of Mads Mikkelsen and Norman Reedus. You think? I mean, I would think that Nick Cage would, and Nick Cage is also like, I mean, he did the weird Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Yeah,
Like it just
exactly.
kind of, it makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Nick Cage needs to be in more video games.
Yes, he does.
I would love to see Nick Cage in a Yakuza game.
like off-brand Nick
yes,
Cage.
off-brand Nick Cage.
Off-brand Nick Cage.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we're also kind of jumping around here. We're kind of mentioning just the things that we're interested in. A lot happens at Summer Game Fest.
Yes.
Next, we have the Sonic Superstars.
Yes, which is showcased at a couple of the. It's one of the few games that was showcased on like quite a few of the showcases.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it's really interesting. They're not using classic Sonic or modern Sonic. This is kind of a new Sonic design that they're using.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's all new stages, which Sonic fans are very happy about. Because, so, there's like an ongoing joke in like the Sonic fandom where it's like, you know how in video games most people like, or most fans, they're like, oh, this is a callback to the previous game.
Right.
And they're really happy about it.
Right.
Well, Sonic fans hate that.
Okay.
So basically, Green Hill Zone 1 is used in like every single game.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's gotten to a point where it's just not fun anymore. And so it said that it's all new stages, so no Green Hill Zone 1. So fans are very excited.
That's so weird because the in most Mario games the first level is the same as well.
I know.
But people don't really complain about that. I don't know. It's just a funny
it is
comparison. Yeah. And then you wrote down that you want to talk about Sandland.
Yeah, Sandland. It's pretty funny that Sandland is getting so much like media. Mm-hmm. So Sandland is a Akira Toriyama manga. He's also the person that made Dragon Ball. And so it's been pretty funny because so far Sandland has a movie and now a video game. And they've kind of done it, like, these have been announced kind of at the perfect time for Dragon Ball things to be announced.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost kind of like a, like, gotcha!
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So just an interesting thing to point out.
Mm-hmm.
Sandland is, I would not expect to see anything from Sandland, yet here we are with a movie and video game.
Might be foreshadowing.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Okay, next thing is Alan Wake. So, I forgot to mention that we later on we have our notes a little out of order. Yeah. There was a PlayStation showcase before all of this, mm-hmm. so we will go back over the PlayStation showcase, and a lot of things are going to be overlapping. And one of them is Alan Wake 2. So Alan Wake 2 was announced at the PlayStation showcase, which happened before Summer Game Festival.
Yeah.
But we got a more in-depth look at the story, the gameplay, how it's actually going to work as a game. So I'm excited, although I don't have any plans to play it, because Remedy games are hard. Mm-hmm. So I didn't play the first Alan Wake game. I watched somebody play it on stream.
I know absolutely nothing about
You don't know anything about Alan Wake.
I know nothing about Alan Wake.
So in the first Alan Wake game, basically you are Alan Wake, right? Mm-hmm. The writer, the disgruntled writer. And he's in this really weird, upside down, he sees ghosts kind of stuff is happening. Mm-hmm. And he actually has to use his flashlight as his weapon. So he, shines his light at the dark shadows and they go away. That's the really basic gameplay of the first Alan Wake. Then Control is technically in the Alan Wake universe, but does not. There's an Alan Wake DLC that kind of ties it in, but Control itself isn't actually about Alan Wake, but it is in the same universe. Mm-hmm. So more weird time things. And the thing is that, so I have Control, and that's how I know that I cannot play Alan Wake 2, is because Control was too hard for me, personally. It just, I wasn't very good at it. Mm-hmm. Although it's such a cool story, and it's such a cool environment. So with Alan Wake 2, we have 2 protagonists that it seems like you can switch back and forth between, which is really cool. The detective is in like the actual world, and then Alan Wake is in the really like the upside down, right? Like the shadow world. Like that's where he's been dragged to, and their stories do overlap. The director, I think he was the director, one of the game designers, said that there's not really like a proper way to play it, but like you can play almost all of it as just a detective, or almost all of it as just Alan. It's totally up to you, and it seems like it's going to be pretty cool. So
yeah, definitely
pretty cool. Next thing, also this was announced at the PlayStation 1, but Spider-Man 2, which features Venom.
Yes.
Right? That's like the big thing.
Very cool.
Very cool. Yes. If I remember correctly, we don't know how Peter Parker has Venom right now. That's
They just
a mystery for the game to explain.
Yeah, they just said that Venom is going to have an original story, so it won't be Eddie Brock. It won't be anyone that's had Venom before.
Yes.
So, or completely original.
Yes. And also kind of, I mean, I guess kind of similar to Alan Wake, it seems like you can switch between characters. So you can play as both Peter Parker and as Miles Morales in this one. So that's cool. It looks like a cool game. I mean, I'm curious to see where the story goes with Venom and with, forgot the villain's name, the hunter guy.
Kraven.
There you go. Next we have Like a Dragon.
Yes, Like a Dragon.
Spy.
Gaiden.
Gaiden, yeah.
So it's Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man with No Name. Yes. I think that's what it is. It's a really long title.
Yeah.
So this was actually shown in 2022. It was first announced then, and they just showed like a little bit of it, and they were like, wow, New Yakuza game that features Kiryu, so it's going to have Kiryu combat, which I'm very happy about because that's what I want. And so they showed the combat in this trailer, and it's a little different. It's just a little different. It almost looked like he used like webs or something. He might use spy gear.
Okay,
I think he's going to use spy gear.
Because it's supposed to be more spy focused, right?
Yeah, he's like a secret agent.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, but like it's the Yakuza series,
right.
So it'll make sense. It won't make sense, but it's okay because it's a good game.
Right. And then lastly, for this opening ceremony, we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Remake.
Yes.
Remastered.
Yeah. It's the second part of the Final Fantasy VII Remake series. It will be on 2 discs. It is a very big game. And I bet people are excited. I know people are excited,
yes,
but like
excited.
I tried playing through Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's just long.
It's long, but it is entertaining. I watched you play through most of it, and I really liked it.
I got through about halfway through it.
Yeah, I really liked it, and I didn't think I would, to be honest with you. But it's cool.
Yeah, and so I think it's supposed to have like some original stuff with Sephiroth or something like that. So it'll be interesting. There's like a tiger character that talks.
Nice.
Just thought that was interesting. I know like nothing about Final Fantasy VII.
Fair. All right, so that's kind of what we have for the opening.
Yeah. How would you rate the opening for Summer Game Fest?
You are asking the wrong person. How would you rate the opening for Summer Game Fest?
I think it was pretty good. I'm not going to put any numbers to it. I'm going to say that it was pretty good. They showed pretty much everything that we expected it to. And it was pretty good. It was like just above average because some things were already shown at the PlayStation.
Right.
So PlayStation Direct. So so it was talking more extensively. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Sorry, I said that because I actually didn't watch this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was at work. I actually was just relying on your information of the opening.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was pretty good.
Yes.
It was like just above average.
Yes. Now, okay, something that we did watch together. Next one is the Devolver Showcase.
Yeah.
So I want to like explain how this showcase went because it was a production.
Yeah.
Right.
As Devolver showcases are.
Yes. With that being said, I want to say they showed 4 to 5 games. They didn't show much, honestly.
They only showed 4 games.
4 games? Okay.
Yeah.
It's 4 games. But they had this whole, like, storyline of, oh yeah, at Devolver, we had this mascot called Volvi. He's like a vole rat or something. Or vole.
He's a vole, yeah.
He's a vole, right? And he has a big hand for gaming. And it's, like, really, like, super satire, dumb stuff, right? And now, that was our mascot in the past. And now we have a robot Volvi who is an AI that can make up games in a flash. So it's kind of, it is poking fun at AI and the replacement of game devs, because they say things like, oh, we don't need those stinky game devs anymore.
Yeah.
So that's like how this whole thing is presented, is they keep going up to Volvi and saying a concept, and then Volvi makes a game, and then that's the game trailer, right? So the 2 that were the most interesting for us, one was just Human Fall Flat 2. It's interesting that they're getting a second one.
Yeah.
Kind of, and that they're not just adding on to it. I equate Human Fall Flat a lot to Fall Guys, although Human Fall Flat is more co-op than Fall Guys is. It's cool, though, that they're getting another game. I think it's a pretty fun game. And then the big one was Baby Steps.
Yes.
So Baby Steps is a Bennett Foddy adventure, which is to say that it's supposed to be really hard. And so basically there's this man baby, and we mean like your stereotypical 30-year-old man living in his mother's basement kind of man baby in long johns. And you control each of his feet individually and walk through this like dream realm that he entered somehow. And it just looks really stupid.
Yeah, I'm so back and forth about Devolver games.
Some of them are really good.
My thing is that Devolver games are always good in concept.
Yes.
Like, they always are like, haha, that's so funny. But then when you actually start playing them, you're like, man, that's not so funny.
I think that Baby Steps will be funny because it isn't supposed to be long. I think if we equate it to, well, I don't know if this was Bennett Foddy's last game, but the Getting Over It in and of itself was not a very long game. It was just so hard that it took people a long time.
Yeah.
So I think that Baby Steps is kind of a successor to that in that concept of maybe it's not supposed to be that long, but it is supposed to take you a long time.
Yeah.
So that was Devolver. Next, the Wholesome Game Showcase.
Yes. I did not watch this one.
I watched this one, and I struggle to tell you how many games exactly there were in the Wholesome Game Showcase. There were so many games. So I will talk about some of my favorites that I saw, the ones that I'm like genuinely looking forward to. But I also want to talk about some obvious ones. Lots of gardening, lots of farming, cats and cat cafes. Big theme. There are like 2 games where you are frogs. There's that.
Capybaras.
There are also plenty of capybaras. There's 2 different sticker games. And, a lot of magical, you're a little witch doing things. Anyway, I'm going to talk about my ones that I'm actually looking forward to now, though. So, I am a caterpillar. I think that this looks really cute and fun. It kind of has the design and physics of Super Mario Galaxy, which I really like. And it looks like the whole idea is just that you are a caterpillar who is trying to not become a butterfly, because you like being a caterpillar. And it just looks really cute. Next one was Kibu, which is the game where you're a red panda. You're a red panda, and you also, once again, are doing farming and gardening things. It looks like you run a temple, like you kind of like build your own temple kind of thing, and you go and you get your resources and all that stuff, but you're a red panda. Next one, Puppy Island. Now, Puppy Island is here to fill the void that Nintendogs has left.
It looks like Nintendogs.
It looks exactly
honestly,
like Nintendog circuit early 2000s.
I was gonna say, it looks like a remaster of a Nintendogs game.
Yes.
Like, it's not like hyper realistic dogs. Mm-mm. Like, they are kind of blocky.
They're kind of blocky. Puppy Island, though, as you can obviously from the name, you are on an island and there are puppies everywhere. And there's like a bunch of biomes on this island too. It's a magical island. You get to rescue the puppies, you get to build architecture things like lighthouses and homes and cafes. And you can dress up the puppies and you can take the puppies on walks. And it's just everything that Nintendogs was.
Yep.
Very exciting stuff. So, okay, I might butcher this name. Manetia's Kitchen. Now, I just know this as the T-Rex pizza game. The T-Rex pizza game looks like a lot of fun because I like a lot of restaurant simulators. And in this one, you're a T-Rex whose arms are too short to even hold the pizza, so you have to use your mouth. Looks like a lot of fun. Next one, I just wanted to point this one out, Solar Punk. Solar Punk is not something that I think I'm going to really get into, but I wanted to say that as far as the gardening simulator stuff that we are getting, it looks like it's really trying to branch out. So Solar Punk, it kind of actually reminds me of Slime Rancher in a way, except for there's no slimes, it's just plants. But in the idea that you are in like the countryside, the quote unquote countryside, but it's in a futuristic setting. So there is a lot of like technology and stuff, but all this technology is in the is used to do your gardening thing. So it's just kind of an interesting, different looking gardening game. Tiny Bookshop, which is, there's a lot of games on this, I'm trying to go fast. Tiny Bookshop, which is where you own a trailer that is a bookshop and you go to different towns and there's like a story, like there is a narrative in it, but you just sell books.
Nice.
Yeah, and you have a tiny bookshop. And then the last one, another one that I think I'm pretty excited about is Wood and Weather, which I made you watch an extended trailer for this because it looks so weird. Basically, imagine like old school wooden toys, like blocks. And you're just kind of like a godlike character that messes with them. But since they're wood toys, like they don't change their expression. It just looks really silly and odd. And I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, a lot more games other than that, but that was my little recap of the Wholesome Game Festival. Okay, but now we're gonna go back in time to PlayStation.
Okay, how was the Wholesome Game Festival?
Oh my goodness, it was so good. It was so good. I'm saying that there was a lot of games, but it was not a relatively long presentation. They went through. There wasn't a lot of like messing about. If that makes sense. Sometimes, I feel like these people who do these showcases are given a time slot and you can choose what to do with it. For example, Devolver decided to make a whole movie about a vole mascot that doesn't actually even exist. And Wholesome Games just filled it with games. So many games. Too many games. But I think it was a really good presentation and the presenters did well.
Nice.
Yeah. And they have cute t-shirts on sale at wholesomegames.com. Okay, but now, yes, going back in time to PlayStation. So this was before the Summer Game Fest. Once again, sorry, it's a little out of order. We kind of forgot to say that first. Big things. Snake Eater Remake.
Yes, that is a very big thing.
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is probably one of the best Metal Gear Solid games there is. If not the best one.
Right.
There's so much into that game, just like also the development of it and things like that. Kojima really popped off with that game.
Yeah.
And getting a remake of it is going to be incredible. But, there's a very big but. Kojima will not be a part of the process.
Okay.
Because Kojima was fired from Konami.
Right.
So there's a chance that they could completely ruin the game and make it play like Metal Gear Solid 5, where it is not stealth like at all.
Right.
And so who's to say what it's going to be like?
It was like just an announcement trailer.
Yeah,
nothing
it was
was
just
really nothing was shown gameplay wise. A setting and then Snake was shown, and that was it. So we will have to wait and see what comes of the remake. Next big thing. The Switch for PlayStation.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It looks like a Wii U. It literally looks like a Wii U. Like it, and that's what it is. Like you connect it through Bluetooth, I think, to your
it's like a tablet
PlayStation, thing. And then you just play it like you. I'm pretty sure you can't play both the PlayStation and the handheld at the same time. So it's literally just like a Wii U. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my gosh, it's so silly.
It looks really silly. So there's that. So I already mentioned Alan Wake 2, so I'm not going to go back into it, but this is whenever it was announced. And this is when we saw more extended stuff for Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I am actually going to hold off on and jump back to that when we get to Ubisoft.
Yes.
But we also got Foam Stars.
Foam Stars. Oh
which is just...
PlayStation Splatoon.
So Foam Stars, if you don't know what Splatoon is, I'll actually just go ahead and explain Foam Stars to you. Basically, there are different weapons, quote-unquote weapons, but they're like foam weapons. So they shoot foam. And yes, we're talking bubbles. We're talking colored bubbles. And you want to, like, foam other opponents.
And your foam is colored.
Yeah.
Your foam is colored.
Right.
So you know what team you're on. And it didn't explicitly say it, but I'm pretty sure you want to try to cover as much area as you can.
Which is just what Splatoon is.
Just
what Splatoon is. And even, we made the joke that even some of the weapons
the weapons are blatant ripoffs.
Are just absolutely the same weapon same weapons from Splatoon. So it was just something for us to giggle at whenever we saw it.
Which this isn't the first time PlayStation has done something like this. PlayStation also tried to make their own version of Smash on the PlayStation 3 with PlayStation All-Stars. So it's not the first time they've tried to do something like this.
Everybody tries to make an All-Star game now, honestly, nowadays. Next, we have Phantom Blade Zero, which looks really cool.
It looks very cool.
It's very cool. It looks Souls-like. Right?
Kind of in
combat.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be I feel like it's going to be Souls-like.
It's probably going to be Souls-like as far as you get a sword, everything is dark, and your boss may be kind of hard to defeat.
Yeah, it didn't show it, but you might have like a respawn system where you drop all your stuff. Just the vibes. Yeah. These are just the vibes. The thing though is that the sword play is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure everything that we saw in the game was not cutscene.
Yes, we saw a couple of cutscenes.
Yeah, but like when it came to the actual combat, I think that was actual gameplay.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it. So it looks like a cool game to look out for sure. If you're into that kind of combat system, I am into it actually. I'm just maybe not that good at it, but I do like it. Anyway, and then this is when Spider-Man 2 was also announced.
Yes.
Just to say that it was on this showcase. Whenever we saw a gameplay trailer, actually, it was kind of a big chunk out of the end of the state of play. And so that was PlayStation.
People harped so hard on this PlayStation showcase.
Yeah?
They said that it was like the worst PlayStation showcase ever. Like, it was so bad. And one of the reasons for that is just because a lot of the games shown were also on Xbox.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, it's barely Xbox showcase. And it's like, shut up. Like, the games that were announced are pretty crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty good. But from here, we are going to go to Xbox now, which was during the Summer Game Fest now.
Yes.
We're back on our timeline. We're back in our timeline.
Yeah.
So, first game, or one of the first games. Once again, these are not in order, sorry. Clockwork Revolution. BioShock Infinite.
Yes, it's just BioShock Infinite.
Yes. It still looks cool. This isn't to say that it doesn't look cool.
BioShock Infinite is a good game.
BioShock Infinite was a good game. But this looks like it's going to be BioShock Infinite again. If you were into that, maybe check it out. Another early one that was shown was the South of Midnight, which now this one, I have a couple of games where I'm like, okay, you got me. I'm sad I don't have an Xbox. You got me. South of Midnight is, I think, going to be one of them. Now, we didn't see any gameplay for South of Midnight. It was just a cinematic trailer. So I don't know. Maybe the gameplay is not for me. But cool concept. It's about like voodoo. So it's kind of one of those like classic I'm on a magical journey tales, but it's with voodoo. So we have a young girl. She seems to be talking to, well, it's the one who's singing, but he's like this old bayou man.
Yeah.
Essentially, like, hey, like, where can I find this? And he's not answering her. And then it looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
I almost feel like he might be deaf. Like
Maybe.
that, because she was like, you owe me one or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one.
Fable, yeah.
Fable.
Another reason to, shucks, I wish I had an Xbox.
Rats,
Or
yes.
a PC that could play it.
Yeah. This Fable looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really good. I liked that I liked the direction of the trailer a lot. So I'm an old Fable fan.
Me too.
From back in the day. I haven't played Fable in a really long time, but it was fun whenever I did play it. And this looks wonderful. Mm-hmm. It really does. I love that it had this whole like, it was just a silly trailer, and it seemed to really capture like the vibe of what Fable is. So that's cool. Very cool. Excited for that. Next, I wanted to mention Flight Simulator, because they are adding a lot to Flight Simulator. Is this Flight Simulator 2? I actually forgot.
No, it's not.
It's not? They're just adding a lot to it?
Oh, wait. I don't remember.
Okay, regardless.
I don't think it is.
They showed a lot of stuff for Flight Simulator that was just very impressive.
Yeah.
So, I don't know much about Flight Simulator, other than that it is a flight simulator. And for what I understood, though, it was for leisure, like leisure flying.
Yeah.
Right? But this adds a lot of cool scenarios now. So if you're into, maybe you need more direction. I'm someone who actually kind of needs direction in video games.
Yeah,
one of the
agreed.
reasons why
Same.
I'm not very good at like sandbox games. But this adds a lot more scenarios like
rescue missions.
Rescue missions, cargo. There's even like smaller things like agriculture.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of really cool new scenarios.
And like flying through like hoops and things like
yeah,
that.
like air shows.
Yeah,
and
air
stuff
shows.
like that. Yeah, so that's cool. Next, we can talk about City Skyline 2.
Yeah.
Which is one of those games where you would think they would just add on to the original,
yeah,
but we have
why
a
aren't
new
they
one.
making a second one?
But we have a new one, so there's that. You
Yeah.
know.
We played a good amount of the first one.
Yeah, we
but
did.
It's because we got it for free.
Yeah, and we'll probably get this one for free too.
Honestly.
Maybe. It is going to be on PlayStation as well. Next, there's Jusant, which is a climbing, you can call it a climbing sim, but there is a story to it. I mean, there's a reason for getting up there and stuff like that. It's cute. It's more of like the cutesy vibe.
It's made by Don't Nod.
It's made by Dome Nod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll have gender.
Something sad in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Once again, this one will also be on PlayStation. And then we have Persona 3.
Yes, Persona 3 Remake.
Yes.
Or Persona 3 Reloaded. So the Persona 3 Reloaded and then Persona 5 Tactica were actually leaked the day before this.
Aw.
I don't know how it happened, but they were posted on the Atlas West Instagram. Like the trailers for them were posted there like the day before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they had other leaks after as well. And so if this was like completely out of nowhere and no one saw the leaks, this would have been a crazy announcement.
Right.
Because like Persona 3 is not on any like console.
Mm-hmm.
Or Persona, it's not on any modern console. Not on any modern console.
Yeah.
The most updated version, I believe, is on PlayStation, like PSP.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, kind of hard to play.
Been a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
So getting an updated, especially a remake of it, crazy.
Awesome. And then we have Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Yes. Ichiban Butt Simulator.
Yes, well, butt simulator. It was just in the trailer. So we have our good old Ichiban wakes up naked on a beach.
Yes.
Doesn't know where he is. Everybody's like, naked man.
Yes.
You know, like pervert.
Specifically in English.
In English. So whenever I first saw the trees, I went, oh, Florida. And then I geographically recalculated because I was like, wait, that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's most likely California.
Right. Which would make sense why they're speaking English.
Which would make sense. I was like, he's definitely in America.
Yeah.
He's definitely in America. So I was like, California maybe. And then, I mean, it's like I said.
A Twitter user doxed him.
A Twitter user did figure out what beach this is based on,
yes.
and it is Hawaii, actually.
Yes. Oh, no.
Oopsies. It is Hawaii, actually. And so there's that.
Which also makes sense
geographically. So what do you think Ichiban is doing
honestly,
in California?
I have no idea. I have no idea. But supposedly it's supposed to be with Kiryu as well.
Oh, okay.
Kiryu is like a secret agent or something. He's undercover. And so they're supposed to be doing something together. Okay. I have no idea what though. Uh-huh. Like these games, the plots are so wild. Like you cannot predict what happens in the plots of these games.
Right.
So I have no idea. But it is continuing with the tradition of Ichiban starting the game, waking up, and being like, where am I?
Where am I? And the answer is America. Well, Hawaii.
Yeah.
Which I wonder if they'll explain how they got there. It's probably something they're going to fly over. They're not going to spend a lot of time explaining how he got there. It's going to be some.
See, that's the thing. It's probably they're probably going to spend the entire game explaining why he got there, because that's the entire plot of Yakuza 7. It's like half of the game is just the lead up to how I woke up in the garbage at this homeless camp.
Okay.
And so they're probably be like, yeah, it's probably going to be a whole first quarter of the game, him in Hawaii or wherever, just being like, how did I get here? And then it's going to be like, well, you see, your twin brother that you didn't know you had switched places with you, and he was in debt to the mob or the Yakuza.
Right.
And so you were dumped overboard, and also your former Yakuza boss put a breathalyzer on you, or an air tank.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. We'll see. And then, second to lastly, Senua.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one is the one that just breaks my heart, because I loved the first Senua game so much.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it so much. And I hope that it will come to PlayStation someday. It's not releasing on PlayStation, which makes me very sad. And I'm going to have to avoid spoilers for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, Senua back at it, hearing voices, seeing things, being scared. And I'm into it. I'm excited because it also seems like, not based on this trailer, but based on previous trailers, that she actually interacts with living people, which in the first game, she doesn't. Mm-hmm. She's on her own the entire time.
Oh.
So I would be interested to see what kind of interactions happen, if any, with other people, actual other people.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it seems like she's leading an army into battle. It seems like once again I'm just spitballing after what I've seen. It looks like she's leading an army into battle. Like she's some sort of important person, which she is a good sword. She's a warrior, and she's a good warrior, and she's a good warrior because of her psychosis, because she can hear the voices and stuff, right? But yeah, I hope it comes to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Someday.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. And then the actual last thing for the Xbox is that if you buy a new Xbox, you can get more Xbox.
Yes.
Did you know that? If you buy another Xbox, you could get more Xbox?
Yes. So Xbox has a problem where you can't add any memory to it. Or any storage space. And so they solve that problem by selling you another Xbox with more storage space.
Yes, with a terabyte of storage space.
Yes.
So you can't attach...
You cannot attach anything to an Xbox or not internally. I think you might be able to externally.
Right?
I'm not sure. It has something to do with the difference in like RAM versus, or not RAM. I think RAM. The difference between RAM versus SSD, which is why it's so easy to add memory to PlayStation, because you can just take it off and put it in.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not super sure. I don't know the logistics of it.
Yeah. So that was the last thing that they announced was Xbox for Xbox. Overall, pretty solid showcase.
It was.
Very good showcase, honestly. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. They also did the same thing where they also showed games that are also going to be on PlayStation, like Yakuza. Which, side note on that, Yakuza has been really promoting on Xbox recently.
Yes, they have.
Which I think is interesting, which I think is the same thing Persona is doing.
Trying to get a new market.
Yeah,
new
the
audience.
thing is that they already know they're sold to PlayStation. So they have to like really market to Switch and Xbox.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to see.
All right, next up we have Ubisoft. So, Star Wars Outlaws. Honestly, pretty cool.
Yep.
Like, genuinely, I don't even go here. I don't even know what a Star Wars is. I'd play that game. Looks really cool. I like that you get a little axolotl buddy.
Yeah.
He's very good. And it looks like gameplay-wise, story, like narrative-wise, that's what I should say. Narrative-wise, it looks like an interesting story. So...
It's a pretty classic story of, I'm a bounty hunter, and I just have to do this one last job.
Yeah, I know, but that's a good story. It's a good story. Come on. So, if you are into the Star Wars things, it looks like it's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Next, we have Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, also known as Far Cry 7.
For real.
So basically, we were kind of hoping, like it was a really loose hope, but we were hoping we were going to get a Far Cry update since it's been over a year since 6 happened. But instead what we have is Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, which just plays like a Far Cry game.
Yeah, it's just Far Cry.
It's the exact same
Literally has
gameplay.
Like bases to overcome.
Animals you can tame. It's just Far Cry. So, but I mean, with that being said, it looks like a fun game.
Yeah,
it does have 2-player co-op, which once again is a Far Cry thing.
Far Cry thing, yeah.
So I guess if you're also into Avatar, check it out because it does look like a good game. Speaking of Far Cry, though, they announced a Blood Dragon animated show for Netflix. And when I tell you, it does not look good. It does not look like it was a good investment at all. So I tried to play Blood Dragon and I couldn't get through it. And I'm actually I never told you why I couldn't get through it. But the honest reason why I couldn't get through it is because the saturated, the sarcastic war simulator kind of thing, it's kind of been perfected by Borderlands.
Oh, yeah.
And it felt so forced in Far Cry. So like, and it wasn't, the thing is that it wasn't for me. I don't know, like in Blood Dragon, it was, and I know this is the point of Blood Dragon, so maybe it sounds like I'm criticizing the point, but it was so super like macho what it is, like get the girl, bombs and explosions, America. But like, I don't know. It's just not really for me.
No, that's fair. I mean, that was like the point. That it's like an 80s action movie.
It's supposed to be like an 80s action movie. And the thing is, you know what? I don't like 80s action movies. It's one of those things where I played it and I was like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. With that being said, the Blood Dragon show is not only Blood Dragon. It's not only Far Cry. They are taking a lot of Ubisoft intellectual properties and like sprinkling it throughout.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In ways that look really cringe. You don't remember the Assassin's Creed?
Oh yeah,
it's like an animal. I don't even remember what animal it is. But they have like all these Ubisoft references sprinkled in. And I'm sorry, Ubisoft, it doesn't look good. It does not look good. Okay. Then we're gonna move to Skull and Bones. Will it ever come out? Who knows? And that's kind of all we got out of it too.
Yeah,
they literally said Skull and Bones, and then there was a musical performance, and then that was it.
They're like coming some point.
Well, they're doing a closed beta. That's what they were really announcing, but I mean that's nothing for us.
It's a closed beta.
I'm
not gonna be joined. Like I'm not gonna be in there.
I'm not gonna be invited. So will it come? Who's to say? Okay, next we're going to jump into Assassin's Creed things, because there are multiple things. Mm-hmm. So, the big one, we'll just start with the big one, Assassin's Creed Mirage. Coming out this fall. Mm-hmm. Very much looking forward to it. If you know me, I love Assassin's Creed, and no matter what, I'm going to buy it, because I've already sold my soul to it. Mm-hmm. So
I love to consume
Assassin's Creed. So... But I'm a little bit worried about this game. Not because of any gameplay reasons. It looks like it's going to play well. It looks like they have this back to basics approach where they're trying to essentially backpedal on Valhalla and Odyssey and Origins. I guess you can include Origins in there. They're trying to backpedal on it because some aspects of changing the formula of Assassin's Creed did work, but obviously some didn't. One of them being the whole point of assassination being stealth.
Yeah.
Right? That was like thrown out the window. Literally in Valhalla, like super thrown out the window. Mm-hmm. I had a really hard time playing Odyssey being stealth in any sort of way. So they're trying to bring back a focus on stealth kills, in getting more points if you actually perform stealth. Like in a stealth way. So in the old games, they used to give you like optional objectives where it would be like, don't get detected, or it was mostly don't get detected. And if you completed it, then you get extra points. Like you get a extra pat on the back. Mm-hmm. Good job. So they're bringing back things like that. They're bringing back social stealth, which social stealth was completely useless in the last 2 games. Because it was completely useless. So I'm appreciating the back to basics approach. What I have my qualms about is the main character.
Yeah.
Basim. So Basim was in Valhalla, and he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
In Valhalla. No real other way to look at it. And as someone who is in the community, on the Twitter, on the Discords and stuff like that, I feel like I'm going crazy because no one seems to recognize that he was the bad guy, and like the crazy one.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, So everybody's excited to play as Basim, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I wish I wasn't playing as him. I wish I was playing as somebody else. Because I don't like Basim. I think he is, like, I know the point of this Mirage is going to be because Mirage is going to take place before Valhalla. So before he becomes the villain of Valhalla, right? It's this villain origin story. And I get it. And I'll probably, learn to sympathize with him or whatever.
Yeah.
But it just kind of feels like, we couldn't pick another character. Mm-hmm. We couldn't make a new character. Like, we're going to use this guy who tried to kill the previous main character.
And now wears a wolf shirt
in
the modern time.
And now is in the modern time. First of all, point blank period. Now has taken the juice of life and has lived thousands of years or hundreds of years.
So it's gonna be really weird because if they have a modern story, you're gonna be playing as Basim in both.
Yeah. And okay, that was. Sorry, I'm about to just get on my Assassin's Creed tangent right now. I absolutely hated that Basim came to the modern world and then you had to continue playing as Eivor as Basim. That made me so uncomfortable. Like, just the idea, like no, get away from her. Like, you literally tried to kill her and you failed. Like, oh, gosh, okay, sorry. So, once again, I feel like I'm going crazy because nobody else seems to have this opinion of wishing that it wasn't Basim. Everybody seems really excited that it's Basim, and I don't. But maybe that's just me. Whatever. Let's move on. We have Assassin's Creed Codename Jade, which is the mobile game set in China. Very interesting to put Assassin's Creed on a mobile game, especially since it looks like they're trying to make it just like a regular Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's not like it's a side scroller. It's not some narrative adventure. It looks like it's going to play just like a 3D AAA Assassin's Creed game, but on your phone. And I'm curious about how long is this story going to be? How big is the world going to be? What can you actually fit on a phone? Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I won't. I don't know yet.
It'll probably come to Switch.
If it comes to Switch, then maybe I will check it out. But I'm probably not going to get this on my phone. And then the last Ubisoft in Assassin's Creed thing was Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. So this is
nauseating.
This is really cool. This is a really cool concept, okay? I will give it to them. It's a really cool concept. But it's first-person Assassin's Creed VR.
Jumping off of roofs.
Jumping off of roofs to air assassinate people, I think might give some people a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I've played a few VR games, and I mean, VR kind of messes with your brain. Like, I mean, that's the whole point of it, right? Like, you're supposed to feel like you're really in that simulation. And I don't know, like, it looks really cool. Like, what they showed, it's going to be with Cassandra from Odyssey, Connor from Assassin's Creed 3, and Ezio. That's right. And Ezio from the Ezio trilogy. And I know that they're going to probably be like really close scenarios, you know, like they're probably not supposed to actually last long, but it just looks crazy. It's just so crazy to me. Regardless. Okay, that was Ubisoft. For what it was, I mean, it wasn't too many interesting things, honestly. For us, that isn't to say that it wasn't I don't think it was a bad show. The singing was a little weird. But yeah, it was an alright show. Okay, next, Capcom.
Yes.
We have Pragmata.
Yes, so basically, I know absolutely nothing about this game. I completely forgot that it existed. But the whole thing is that, like, it was a whole cinematic trailer to just show that it's being delayed.
It's being delayed, that's right. That's right. They were, like, saying sorry, guys. It's delayed again. That was funny. Okay, we have the Ace Attorney Apollo Justice trio.
Like Persona 3, this is a game this is a series trilogy that was stuck on portable. So it's never been ported before, so this is just a good way to play
neat little
Ace Attorney games.
Right. And then we have Exoprimal.
I am
Exoprimal is good on paper.
Not even. Exoprimal was good when it first announced.
Exoprimal was a good concept.
Yeah, it was a good concept, completely decimated it. So basically, the more I learn about Exoprimal, the more I hate it.
Yes.
It is online only, team versus team, battle pass.
See, so what we liked about it is whenever we first heard about it, all we saw was mech suits.
Yes.
Fighting dinosaurs.
Yes, and you're in a group, so it's multiplayer.
It's multiplayer.
So I thought
and
that
those three things are pretty fun.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds pretty cool.
That sounds like
and
Left 4 Dead.
And there's like a lot of dinosaurs.
There's like a ton of them.
A lot of
like
dinosaurs.
DayZ levels of dinosaurs.
Just them flooding in.
And it's so cool, and then they just kind of ruined it.
And then
so
it's not exactly
I will not
what we
be playing it, unfortunately. Also, it's like you do the exact same thing over and over again because it's a progress for the story type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like literally just grinding. And it sounds terrible.
Right. So we were excited, and then we weren't.
Yeah.
And then lastly for Capcom, we have Kunitsugami?
Yes.
Kunitsugami.
So this game looks awesome. I hope it's multiplayer.
Some classic Capcom.
Yes, it's very classic Capcom of like, let me show you how many colors I can put on the screen at one time in like an Asian aesthetic.
Anime looking, fighting, magic.
It looks awesome.
All sorts of stuff.
It kind of showed that you can play as different characters, so that makes me hope that it's multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
It looks kind of scary too, a little spooky.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it.
Yes, that was Capcom.
Yeah.
Next, we have Grasshopper.
Yes, Grasshopper is a very small studio that I hold near and dear to my heart.
Right.
They make all the No More Heroes games, and I love that series. No More Heroes news this time, but this was their very first direct. And first they showed off that they're remaking, or they're they're remastering Shadows of the Damned, which is a game that was kind of another, like, it was never ported to anything, so it's kind of hard to get a copy of it and play it. So that's cool. And then, so Grasshopper does this thing where they like show previews for games that don't exist. And so they did that. They had like YouTube ads built into their video that were like made up games. So I'm guessing that those were fake ads for the new game that they're coming out with, because they like teased in a really weird way that they're coming out with a new game. Also, like, it was so cringe. It was really cringe, like, because it was like it was like a community manager, and then maybe it was both community managers, and one of them was in cosplay and the other guy was just like trying to make the jokes, and like it was their first direct. Like, you know, I give them
a pass.
Yes, I give them a pass. It's Grasshopper, so like they understand like campiness of it, but it wasn't exactly like the highest quality, and so it was fine. It was fine. They showed off what they needed to show, and so it was fine.
Right.
It was. I'm glad that Grasshopper's coming out with a new game.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be a new IP, so that's exciting.
Yeah. All right. Lastly, we have Nintendo.
Yes.
Now, Nintendo is not part of the Summer Game Fest, but it's in the spirit of things. We'll call it's part of the Summer Game Fest.
Like PlayStation, it came out about the same amount of time.
Right. But during it this time.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to mention, though, is Fae Farm.
Yes.
I want to mention it because the marketing for this thing is off the wall.
Yeah.
So Fae Farm is exactly what it sounds like. It's a Fae farming simulator. It's it's not very riveting. Like,
it's not.
It's not very riveting. If it's what you're into, it's what you're into, right? But this was shown at Nintendo, shown at Wholesome Games, shown in the opening. Like, it is just being shown everywhere. So I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say is I don't know what's up with that. But back to Nintendo things. We have Pikmin 4. They showed some gameplay for Pikmin 4.
Also, they're porting the first two Pikmin games to Switch, which is pretty cool because those were both GameCube games.
Right. So,
hard. Very hard.
That's what I want to jump into with Pikmin 4, is that Pikmin 4 looks really good. And it looks like I want to play it. It gives me the I want to play it vibes.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'll be good at it.
Yeah.
And I think that'll make me sad.
Yeah.
But it looks so cute. I Love all the little areas that you can explore. The Pikmin seem really cool. The new thing was that you can go out at night now, which I guess you couldn't.
And
do
you got
before.
a dog.
Yes, because wasn't the dog an enemy before?
No,
Oh.
it's new.
Oh, it's new? Okay. You get a dog now, which is just like a really big Pikmin.
Yeah, pretty
basically.
much.
A strong Pikmin. You have a bunch of little Pikmins and a strong Pikmin. And it's just looks really neat.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I wish I could play it.
You can play the demo.
The demo, that's right.
Test it with the demo.
I'll try the demo. Next was Splatfest announcement.
Yeah, Splatfest announcement, which was the Splatfest we've been looking forward to, just slightly different.
So, Splatoon 3, Splatfest, it's just like their monthly, you can call it,
It's like bi-monthly.
bi-monthly tournament
event.
And what you do is you pick a team, and then you quote-unquote fight for that team, right?
Yeah.
So this Splatfest theme is, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Is it vanilla, strawberry, or mint chocolate chip?
Yeah. Which is like, why wasn't it just chocolate?
I'm telling you, it wasn't chocolate because we already had a whole chocolate Splatfest. Plus, I think they just want to give Big Man really weird options.
You know what else it could be? It could be a, like, this is me completely, like, theorizing about it.
Right.
Is that it could be a Japanese thing.
Okay.
Because a similar thing happened in Splatoon 2, where it was, what do you put on your French fries? Ketchup or mayonnaise? And everyone in America was like, why wasn't it mustard? And it's because mayonnaise is more popular than mustard in Japan when it comes to like putting it on fries.
Right.
So it could be a thing like that.
It could be a thing like that, yeah. What do you think we're going to pick?
Strawberry?
I was going to say strawberry. Yes, we are probably going to pick strawberry. Team Strawberry. No side order.
No side order DLC. We were juked out.
We were juked because, okay, I follow Splatoon of America. I think that's like what it's called.
Yeah.
It's just the American Splatoon account. And they posted misinformation.
No. So there's an imposter that
Am I following the wrong account?
you might be.
Oh no.
So there's an imposter called Splatoon of America. Has the same profile picture and everything.
Oh no, I think I might be following the wrong account. Okay, so this imposter account posted that there was going to be a special side order Nintendo Direct, and it was a lie. And then we just didn't get any side order news at the actual Direct. Oh, woe is us and our Splatoon dramas.
I know.
Regardless, moving on. Next, we have Mario times 5.
Yes, there was so much Mario. Technically, it's times 6.
Technically, it's times 6 because actually times 7 if you want to include Rabbids.
Oh yeah, actually.
So it was the Mario Direct, which I mean it's Nintendo, so we'll let it be. First one I want to bring up is Mario RPG.
Yes, there's a game on the Super Nintendo, and is kind of like it's not like. It's kind of cult classic-y.
Was it the first like Mario RPG?
Yes, it was the first Mario RPG, and that's why it was named that.
Yeah.
It was isometric, so it wasn't like front, back, left, right. It was like diagonals.
Yeah.
And it has a very popular character in it named Geno, which was a very popular pick for people wanting in Smash.
Okay.
And so this is like the first, I think. Maybe. This will be like the first like HD version of him.
Yeah, so I thought it looked cool. I've played a couple of Mario RPGs, not this one, but like I've played like Mario and Luigi games that are RPG style, and they're cute. Yeah. They're cute. It looks cute. Kind of all I have to say about it.
I'm glad that they're keeping with the art style, or like with the sprite. They're just 3D'ing the sprites.
Yeah.
So like he's still short.
Mario
is still short.
They're still very chibi looking. Yeah. Next we have the Luigi Mansion. What's it called? Dark
Moon.
Dark Moon.
Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
Remaster?
I'm not
remake?
sure. So it's kind of complicated with
Right.
with Nintendo games because they just say port.
Okay.
So like, not sure if it's a remaster or anything. So like, this game was on the DS, I think.
I think it was 3DS.
3DS, yeah. So just putting another DS game on Switch.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Luigi Mansion is pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
Then we have the Peach game,
Yeah.
which we kind of literally got nothing on.
Yeah, just that it's a thing.
Other than we are making a Peach game. It looks like she is on a stage.
Yeah, she's a dancer this time, maybe?
She's a dancer. She's got the ponytail.
Yeah, she got the ponytail.
She's in sport mode. She's ready to go. So we have that to look forward to. Peach game. Then we have WarriorWare.
I'm very excited. It's called Move It.
Move It. That's what it's called. Yeah.
I am very excited because it goes back to the WarriorWare Shake It, which was the Wii
one, yeah.
game. It goes more back to that style and not like the other WarriorWare game that's for Switch. And so I'm very excited.
Yes.
Though I will say, you do have to have 2 Joy-Cons for it.
Yes.
Which is a little surprising.
You have to hold both of them.
Yeah.
You can't just use one. But it does look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then lastly, because we don't need to talk about Mario Kart and Rabbids, right?
Yeah.
Mario Wonder.
Yes.
Super Mario Wonder.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Super Mario Wonder was kind of like the big announcement. It was the grand finale. It's going to be the next Super Mario game, right? Like in the style of Super Mario. And it's just Super Mario, but a little weird.
Yeah,
everything is
much.
just a little off in this Mario Land. There's talking flowers. That was like the main thing. But then everything is just kind of like
wonky.
Everything is wonky to make it different, to spice it up. It looks like there's going to be couch co-op on it though, so that's pretty cool. Could be something that we could check out, since it's couch.
Mario games are kind of infuriating and like
for you.
No, co-op. But those are 3D Mario games are infuriating co-op. But this is 2D.
This is 2D, so it should be fine. It should be fine.
Yeah.
I can agree with you on that one, on the 3D one.
So Mario is in an interesting phase right now. I think they're trying to put Mario into a new phase. So like we had like the 3D Mario phase, like Mario 3D Land.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what like. So Mario 3D Land, I think that's what it was called. Super Mario Wii, and then the updated versions for the Switch.
Galaxy and Sunshine?
No.
Oh.
So then Mario Galaxy, or those were the 2D Mario games. Or 2D, no, Mario 3D Land, Mario Wii, regardless. This kind of like style of Mario. So this is what Mario looks like. This is the model we're using for Mario. So then, if I remember correctly, Mario Odyssey's Mario looks a little different, but it's heavily based off of that Mario.
Right.
However, this new Mario and the Peach game do look different.
Yes. They do.
They're artistically different.
Yes.
And so I think we're kind of in a new phase of what they want Mario to look like.
Yes. I can agree with that.
Which is interesting.
I can agree with that. It's I don't want to say that it looks like an experimental Mario game.
It does.
But it looks like an experimental Mario game.
It does not look like a official Nintendo Mario game.
It doesn't look like an official Nintendo game. No, it doesn't. It's part of like makes me really curious about it. I'm curious to see what happens, what it's going to be like.
The Nintendo Direct was pretty good.
Yes, the Nintendo Direct was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it for now.
Yeah.
There is one more showcase that I'm looking forward to, and that's Annapurna's, but that's at the end of the month. We wanted to go ahead and talk with you guys though about what we have saw, especially since it's been some of these things. I mean, all the way from June 8th.
Yeah.
We're gonna forget. So we wanted to get it all out there, discuss with you guys what we liked, what we didn't like, what we thought, and do you have anything else to add?
Nope.
All right. Well, then that was this episode of Konnichiwa Off the Saddle. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Jared.
And thank you guys so much for listening. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.